Hi there and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be using the Tonic Craft Kit Vintage Pop-Up Sentiments to create these really sweet pop-up cards. The Pop-Up Sentiments kit comes with instructions, and for the most part I found them useful, but I also found that there was some steps missing. So what I've decided to do is that I'm actually just going to put the instructions aside, and I've found a way that works for me. You might find a different way. You might find that the instructions are perfectly suitable for yourself. So this is just my way. To create the card base itself, you want to take that largest die and you're going to cut it out 4 times, and then you're going to take that spine die and cut it out once. So I've gone ahead and done this for both cards. The second card I've done 2 of the cream and 2 of the mauve, and the first card I did just 4 cream. I just want to show you in this spine die that there's actually 2 score lines, and you want to make sure that you score both of those because you need that very small amount of depth in the card. That's a really important step, and I think if you don't get this right, then the pop-up mechanism isn't going to work properly. I've scored both of those score lines, and you can see the very small amount of depth that we have, and I'm going to go ahead and do it on the second one as well. And then we're going to go ahead and glue the 2 pieces of card together, so you have a front and a back. And the reason that you're doing this is it needs to have a little bit of strength, but you also want to have like the front facing, like your best facing side on the front and in the back, because it's going to be opening up. The next step is adhering those panels on either side of the score line. This is going to create your card base. I'm going to go ahead and call this the mauve card, and this is where this that spine is going to have a decorative element, and so you're going to be able to see it on the front of the card. So this is the cream card, so this is card number 2, and we're hiding the spine. So we're just going to adhere a single panel to either side. We're going to flip it over, and then we're going to adhere the other 2 panels to the other side just to cover it up so you won't be able to see it. Now we have both of our front, back, and covers. This is the cream one, and you can see that that spine is hidden. And in the mauve one, you can see that the spine is used as a decorative element for the outside of your card. Moving on to part 2 now, which is constructing the pop-up mechanism. So we have this long die here, and we're going to die cut that twice. But in one of them, we're going to add these little slot dies as well. And then we're just going to go ahead and pop them together. You want to go ahead and fold all the score lines on both of them, because we're using CP paper. It doesn't matter if you score it like back and forth, it makes no difference. So just go ahead and score those. Now the easiest way I found to pop these together is because it's not perfectly straight. So you want to go ahead and adhere the top bit first, well, the top of the bottom. But the important thing is you've got those little glue tabs in the center, and you want to make sure that they kind of slot in, so into the back before you do it. I've gone ahead and added glue to all of our tabs, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to pinch the top bits together. Like I said, it's not completely straight, but if you get the top bit right, then you're not going to have a problem with the rest of it. Once we've done that top portion, we are going to just turn it around and then adhere the bottom portion again, making sure that your glue slots are already tucked inside. Because now once we have made sure that the top and bottom are both done, all you need to do is just go ahead and pinch those middle bits. And that ensures that your pop-up mechanism is adhered perfect. We're going to go ahead and fold that mechanism now. So you want to grab the ends of it, and then you want to kind of fold them in. Part 3 is adhering the pop-up mechanism. So we have this die you can see with these little slits here, and then we have a decorative panel. So we're going to go ahead and cut some of those out to decorate the inside of the card, and then I'm going to show you the easiest way I found to adhere that mechanism. To ensure your pop-up mechanism is central every time, what you want to do is you want to align it with that matten layer. So you've got those little slots there in that matten layer, and that sort of goes over the pop-up mechanism. So what I found is that if we add those panels down first, then we can just go ahead and slot that mechanism in. But the important thing is don't glue all the way down. So on this top panel I glued about halfway down from the top, and on the second one I did about a third. That was just to make sure that I could go ahead and slot the mechanism in with ease. You want to go ahead and slot in your mechanism now to both sides, but it's really important not to add any glue whatsoever to your mechanism. You can just take a piece of scrap card and you can go ahead and glue the panels down, the rest of the panels down, but don't add any adhesive to the mechanism, and that's because you don't want it to stick to the spine, because you're going to be opening it and closing it, and you want that to be able to move so the pop-up mechanism works properly. Let me have I'll show you here. What I mean is that you want it to be able to move freely, and you don't want it to stick directly down to that spine. So that's why you don't add any glue to that mechanism. You just add glue to the panels around it. Now that that mechanism is in place, we can go ahead and add the decorative die panels that we cut out. So I used the Miri card, and then I did a drop shadow with the cream. I thought that really brought the Miri card out, and it made it really pop. And then I've gone ahead and I've fed back in the cream center just for some contrast to the card. For that pop-up sentiment, you're just going to cut this kind of like a rainbow shape. You're going to cut that out once, and that just feeds into those slots on either side of your mechanism. There's no glue needed for that. What you're going to do then is you're going to take the sentiments that are in the kit, and you're going to go ahead and pop it in the center of that. And then if you want to add any additional stamp sentiments, you can go ahead and do that now as well. Part 5 is a belly band, and this is essential to the card because otherwise it won't stay shut. Part 6 is finishing touches. I added some matte layers to the front of the card so it wasn't so plain. I hope you like the finished cards that we've done today. If you have any questions regarding this tutorial, just pop me a message in the comments below. I've listed the full contents of the kit in the description, plus the links to buy it if you would like to do that. Thank you so much for joining me today. Take care, stay safe, and happy crafting.